復會啦。
Members, I think we may now resume our meeting. Before the adjournment, Mr. Albert Chan, pursuant to Section 37A, submitted a motion. And he said that according to our rules of procedure, before we put this item to the vote, he has submitted some motions to express his opinion. I have already looked at the 11 motions that he has submitted. I've consulted with the Secretary and our legal advisor. Of the 11 motions, there are 4 pairs, the nature of which are the same. If you will let me finish first, that is the exhaust, generated at the airport, the Chinese white dolphin, financial arrangement, and so on. I think all these resolutions have a direct bearing on the agenda item today. So I'd like to ask Mr. Albert Chan. I've invited him to room 4. I asked him whether or not he could condense the 8, motions. And I think this is compatible with our usual practice. That is, if the contents of any resolutions are the same, they should be combined, or members may wish to pick a representative, motion. Mr. Abuchan has refused to do that. However, he has not really. He submitted too many resolutions, so I have decided to allow these resolutions so that he can express his opinion. We will now put his 11 motions to the vote. I'll have to ask members to decide to indicate whether or not you agree that we should, whether members will agree to the first motion proposed by Mr. Albert Chan, and that this committee discuss this motion. So do members agree that we continue with our discussion on this item? This committee asked the AEPCO should, together with the AA, reassess the impact of the third runway on the Chinese white dolphin to ensure that the number of Chinese white dolphins will not drastically decline because of the drastic massive reclamation projects before we proceed further with the third runway project. Do members agree that we should deal with this motion? Chairman, I would like to call for a division. So the division bell will ring for 5 minutes.
各位委員，你哋要表決。
Members will now vote on whether or not we deal with the first resolution put forward by Mr. Albert Chan. Please check the vote that you have cast. Have all members voted? Three members have yet to cast their votes. Are you going to cast your votes? So they're abstaining. So we'll display the result. We have 28 members present. There are 5 in favor and 19 against the resolution and 0 abstention. Mr. Yip, pursuant to Rule 39A, I demand that for similar resolutions to be put to the vote, or when voting is ongoing, members should immediately proceed to the vote 1 minute after the bell is rung. First of all, declare that the first resolution before by Mr. Chen has been defeated.
Next, we deal with Mr. AEPCO Kim's motion. Mr. Ip's motion is that after the division bell will be shortened from 5 minutes to 1 minute. Anybody wish to speak? Three minutes. Well, members will have to walk very quickly, very briskly. The elevator is acting up. I'm just speaking on your behalf. Everybody is saying that we have intelligent elevators. The elevator, it started at the 10th floor, and it stops at the 9th and 8th floor, and then goes straight all the way to the basement. So I'm speaking on their behalf. If you cannot fix the elevator, then we're in trouble. We're waiting. Those on the 10th floor have to wait. Which floor are you on, Mrs. Zip? So we should have a 2-minute division bell. Let's revert back to 5 minutes then. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't execute me. That's it. Thank you. You're welcome. Albert Chan and then Chan Ji-chun. Chairman, I'd like to explain the motion without prior notice. The idea behind combinations. This is not related to Mr. AEPCO Kim. I just want to give them a few minutes extra to consider the motion. If you study the content, if you assimilate, if you compile all the motion together, well, when I talk about dolphins and air pollution and noise pollution, so flight noise or engineering or finance are totally different. If you just say it's all related to the airport, then we don't need different motions. They're all related. But the legal advisors, their categorization, well, you can attempt to understand the content through categorization, but you cannot say that they are relevant, they are related. Well, dolphins and flight noise and air quality, air pollution are different. So when you generalize and want legislators to assimilate the motions. Well, this goes against the principle of the motion without prior notice, and that categorization is 100% wrong, because when you conduct a judicial review, they are under different, we have different clauses, even financial arrangements. How can you combine that with whether dolphins continue to exist? It's impossible. Some people are concerned about dolphins. Same with judicial review. Some people raise a judicial review because of dolphins. Some other question the financial arrangements. The judicial review is a very stringent process, and they can categorize. So how can you ask legislators to combine the different topics together? I said you're smarter than C.Y. Leung some 90 million times, and you need to execute me for 11 motions. That seems severe. That's a Freudian slip. You wanted to deal with me a long time ago, but we've been on the political scene for so long. Chairman is evergreen. Mr. Chan, I do not wish to execute you. I meant I need to handle the emotions. If I was not clear, I apologize. I am handling. I'm not trying to execute. Thank you, Chairman. I agree with Mr. Leung Kok Hong. In our 3 elevator lobbies, they are very crafty. I was with Mr. Wong Kok Yin. We were talking about this. We waited for a long time, 5 minutes, and when it was the 9th floor, we wanted it would reverse. I was on the 10th floor, and the elevator went to the 9th floor. Well, I thought it would continue to the 10th floor, but then it went down. So we had to wait again. So these technical glitches need to be handled, need to be fixed. It would be a shame if we couldn't vote. Regarding the categorization issue, I agree with Mr. Albert Chan. If we were given 5 minutes to study the motions, this is the categorization is just a suggestion how we need to discuss this. If we talk about marine life, dolphins, we have different types of dolphins, we have different marine animals. So if you combine all the dolphins as, if you want to combine seahorses, urchins, and combine that as marine life, but if you combine everything, if you take pollution, noise, and combine that into environment, that's not reasonable. You might combine, you might divide financial issues and non-finance issues, but the chairman is brilliant. Given time constraints, there's no point in we should allow our views to be expressed, and I think the chairman has handled this appropriately. Well, the division about whether it's 5, 3, or 1 minute, I would stick to my original decision that they should think it over and vote. So the assumption was that these should be handled and we need to vote. But we feel that is not appropriate. Thank you, Chairman. Anybody else wish to speak? So let's put Mr. Ip Kok Kim's motion to a vote. That is the division bell from 5 minutes shortened to 1 minute. We have a legislator called for a division bell. Let's ring the division bell for 5 minutes.
請就葉
Okay, please vote on Mr. Yip Kok Kim's motion and check your votes. Voting has ended. We'll now display the results. We have 28 in attendance, 24 in favor, 3 against, and 0 abstentions. Mr. Yip's motion has been endorsed. So we'll continue with Mr. Albert Chan's 31A number 2 motion. Do we have a call for division bell? Yes. So the division bell will ring for 1 minute. We require that the AECOP should rewrite or redraft the environmental impact assessment report, and after the completion of the third runway, the increase in flights and impact on air pollution, these figures should be submitted to the environmental department before they can continue with the third runway construction.
表決並核對你哋嘅表決。
Please check your votes.
顯示結果。
Display the results.
3票贊。
3 in favor, 21 against, 1 abstention. The motion is negatived. We'll now deal with Mr. Albert Chan's third motion. Is there any call for division? The division bell will ring for 1 minute. Chairman, we request that the AEPCO should assist the airport authority review the noise pollution impact on Tuen Mun, Golden Coast, Qingyi, Chun Wan, Ma Wan public, and they should look at the noise pollution that affects the area.
Please cast your votes now and verify the votes that you've cast. The voting is now closed. We'll display the result. We have 4 in favor and 20 against and no abstention. I declare that the motion is not carried. We will now deal with the fourth motion proposed by Mr. Albert Chan. Is there any demand for division? Mr. Albert Chan. Mr. Chen, you may now read out your motion. This committee demands that the AEPCO must require the AA to, upon the completion of the marine park, start the third runway project in order to minimize the damage to the Chinese white dolphins to a minimum.
請進行投票並核對你嘅。
Please cast your votes now and verify the votes that you have cast. Voting is now closed. We'll display the result. We have 3 in favor and 20 against, so the motion is not carried. We will now deal with motion number 5, moved by Albert Chan. Is there any demand for the division bell to be rung? Well, the bell will rung for 1 minute, Mr. Albert Chan. This committee demands that the AEPCO should assist the AA to, upon the completion of the third one-way project, assess the amount of exhaust emitted by airplanes to ensure that the emission of gases will not drastically increase because of the completion of the third runway.
請進行表決並核。
Will members please cast your votes now and check the votes that you've cast. We will now display the result. 3 in favor, 20 against, and 1 abstention. The motion is not carried. We'll now deal with motion number 6, moved by Albert Chan. Is there a demand for the division bell to be rung? Okay, the bell will be rung for 1 minute, Mr. Albert Chan, Chairman. This committee demands that the AEPCO should, as soon as possible, give an account of the air flight zone agreement so the public can review the arrangement and the impact on the operation efficiency of the airport upon the completion of the third runway.
請進行表決核對。
Please cast your votes now and check the votes that you have cast. Voting is now closed. We'll now display the result. 3 in favor, 20 against, and 1 abstention. The motion is not carried. We'll now deal with motion number 7, moved by Albert Chan. Is there a demand for the division bell to be rung? Okay, the bell will be rung for 1 minute. Mr. Chan. This committee demands that the AEPCO should, as soon as possible, fine-tune the content of the financial agreements with the AA to ensure that the government will not have to, under any circumstances, pay for the liabilities or debts, arising from the third runway project, in order to allay the public's concern. Members may now cast their votes. Please check your vote after you have cast them. We will display the result. Now, 3 in favor, 20 against, and 1 abstention. I declare that the motion is not carried. So it's almost time for the meeting be adjourned, so I propose that we extend the meeting for 15 minutes in order that we can deal with all the motions moved by Albert Chan. Any objection? If not, we will continue to deal with the rest of the motions. This is motion number 8, moved by Albert Chan. Do we need to call the division bell? The bell will ring for 1 minute. Mr. Chan, this committee demands that the AEPCO should, as soon as possible, announce the full text of the financial arrangement so the public can assess whether or not the arrangement is most favorable to the government in order that we can allay the public's concern. Members may now cast the votes. Please check the votes after you have cast them. The voting is now closed. We will display the result. 3 in favor, 19 against, and 1 abstention. I declare that the motion is not carried. We will now come to motion number 9, moved by Mr. Albert Chan. Any demand for the division bell to be rung? Okay, the bell will ring for 1 minute, Mr. Chan. This committee demands that the AEPCO should instruct the AA to, as soon as possible, conduct an extensive public consultation as whether or not we should proceed with the third runway project. Only upon obtaining the support from the majority of the public should it proceed with the third runway project. Please cast your votes now. Please also check the votes that you have cast. The voting is now closed. We will display the results. 3 in favor, 20 against, and 1 abstention. The motion is not carried. We will now come to resolution number 10, moved by Albert Chan. Is there a demand for the division bell to be rung? Albert Chan, this committee should demand that the AEPCO should, together with the AA, conduct public a seminar with the residents of Ma Wan and Tuen Mun and explain to the residents about the possible noise nuisance caused to the residents, and also consult the views of the people in that community. And only when you have obtained support from the residents will you proceed with the third runway project. Please cast your votes now and check the votes that you have cast. We will now display the result. 3 in favor, 21 against, 1 abstention. I declare that the motion is not carried. We will now deal with motion number 11, moved by Albert Chan. So the division bell will now ring for 1 minute. Mr. Chan. Thank you. This committee demands that the AEPCO should assist the AA to reassess the third runway project and the possible, sedimentation, and come up with a contingency plan to ensure that the third runway project will not, result in the shifting of the reclaimed site, resulting in serious delay. Members may now vote on the motion, and please check the vote that you have cast. The voting is now closed. We will display the result. 3 in favor, 21 against, and 1 abstention. I declare that Mr. Albert Chan's 11th motion is defeated. We have now dealt with all 11 motions moved by Mr. Albert Chan. I say this again, Mr. Albert Chan. In room 4, I have invited you to of the 8 motions, there are 4 pairs which are the same. 2 dealing with dolphins, 2 with exhaust gases, and another 2 about the financial arrangement. I'm asking you to combine the 2 motions related to dolphins and 2 motions relating to financial arrangements. So this actually is the usual practice to enhance the efficiency of our proceedings, but you've refused to do that. However, I've already dealt with your motions in a linear manner. So may I now ask whether members will have any further motions to move pursuant to 31A? Well, you promised that you will do so as soon as possible if you have any. Any other motions? If not, I shall now put this item to the vote. All those who are in favor of the administration's paper 2015-2016-8. The division bell will now call for 1 minute, will now ring for 1 minute.
Please cast your votes and check your votes. Voting is complete. I'll wait for you, Mr. Fernando Chung. Ms. Sid Ho. We'll wait for you. Please display results. 23 for, 5 against, 0 abstentions. It has been endorsed. So we'll adjourn and we'll deal with the next paper on the next occasion. Thank you.